a brand new video. Today we are going to be previewing the 2017 World Rally Championship season. 2017, like in Formula 1, is brand new with new technical regulations. I'm going to whiz through them, look at the teams and the drivers and the prospects. And with the withdrawal of Volkswagen, the dominant, all-powerful force for the past 3 seasons, who is likely to win the 2017 WRC season today? So, first off, let's start off with those new technical regulations. Do excuse me, looking a little to the right. I have my notes to the right, so I will be having a peer over as they're not an avid WRC fan for many years, just a casual viewer the last couple of years, so do excuse me. There is an increase in engine power output from 300 brake horsepower to 380 brake horsepower, with capable of producing 450 Newton per meter of torque. So what does that mean? An increase in the total power output of the engine while engaged with the gearbox. So obviously increase in power, more horsepower, generating more torques, generating an overall increase in engine output, which means they can go a hell of a lot faster. So bigger engines, more bang for your buck, essentially, in simple racing terms. That's what that means. A large turbo restrictor, so more turbo, which means you get more spits and bangs and bubbles. It just looks more exciting and more racy to start with. And also, well, that has been increased from 33 millimeters to 36 millimeters, and a reduction in weight by 25 kilos. That's a considerable amount. That is over half of me, in weight, just gone. So that is also pretty incredible. An increase in the overhang of the front and the rear bumpers and the size of the door sills, pillars and rear wing, permitting the inclusion of additional aerodynamic aids, all aimed at improving the aerodynamic grip. So the pillars, the front wing, the rear wing, the splitter, the front and rear and rear bumpers, all includes in aerodynamic grip, more traction, greater overhangs, more aerodynamic inclusion within the new regulations. So this is pretty critical as you're going. Also, not only do we have engine increases, so you're getting more engine power output, but aerodynamic increases. So across some of the tight, twisty rally stages, you're going to see the car being tighter into the corners and generating more grip out of the corners, with it very crucial. And then driver skill coming into that, of course, and when you've got more speed in terms of power and aero, driver skill has a huge role in that. So it's important that you get the most talented drivers with the best expertise behind the wheel to be able to capitalize on what is going on here for the best possible results. That is just what you want. And finally, rear diffusion no longer allowed to be applied aerodynamically. So basically in Formula 1, it was banned after the 2014 regulation, was the coda effect. Basically the teams using the rear wing to be able to generate more downforce from the diffuser. The same thing essentially is happening in WRC, and they have banned it as per the 2017 regulations. So it's basically ending using the coda effect for the rear bumper on a WRC car, like the FIA and the FOM permitted no longer the use of the rear diffuser on the rear wing, with obviously getting rid of that extra pillar, which essentially ended the coda effect. Also, the reintroduction of the active centre differential for the first time since 2010. So that is basically meaning that we've got a greater active new diff. So you've now got an active clutch bite system. So more emphasis on the drive being able to manipulate that new diff and being able to interpret the clutch bite point better. So it's going to be a bit of a trial to start with the teams and the drivers. They're going to have to try and get used to this pretty quickly indeed. So those are the regs to start with. Now I think it's time to move into who's going to be operating these teams. There's been quite a few driver transfers over the season, over the off season, more so than would usually be the case. So M Sport, which is obviously Ford's outfit, defending champion Sebastian Ogier moved from Volkswagen after the emissions scandal last year. They have withdrawn from WEC and WRC, concentrating their efforts on a Season 5 campaign in Formula E. But this has had catastrophic impacts on Ogier, Latvala and Mikkelsen. So much so that Andreas Mikkelsen actually will not be competing in the WRC Championship in 2017. He will be using a Skoda Fabia R5 in WRC2. As for defending champion Ogier, he has been able to land himself an M Sport drive, which, to be honest, considering the situation, I think could be pretty happy with. And he still has a great shot at defending his championship with that Ford outfit. He'll be joined by Oyt Tanak and Elfyn Evans, the British driver who was forced down to WRC 2 like Mikkelsen is for this year. In 2016, he's been able to get back up to the senior category for this season. Sorry, excuse me, I've got me driver notes just over there, so that is why I'm looking in that direction. Hyundai, Hayden Paddon and Thierry Neuville. Neuville finished second in the championship last season, and he has an amazing chance to be WRC champion this year. They're also joined by Danny Sordo, the same three last year. They were pretty good. Neuville and Paddon both won rallies last year, so expect the Hyundai to be pretty immense. They haven't changed a lot, but that's usually a good thing. Think of all the best teams in motorsport. They don't have a radically different because they're good, solid packages, and it's just basic. It's a revolution. It's an evolutionary look to revolutionary regulations. So it's just changing to comply with the regulation and slight improvements here and there, but nothing completely crazy, which is, as I say, probably a good thing rather than a bad thing. Citroen, Chris Meek for a full campaign. That's exciting. Alongside him is in the other car is Chris Bean and Stefan Lefebvre. So they'll be sharing the number 2 car. Then when there's a third car, they'll have a car each, which will be a few rallies in. But Chris Meek having a full campaign. I think at this early point, I think you can start to see a potential rivalry developing between Chris Meek, who was very fast all of last year. He was very unlucky on many occasions. In my opinion, should have won at least Monty or Sweden. He was able to finally win in Argentina, but just disappointing that he didn't get one of those first 2 rally wins, because he deserved, to be honest, he deserved to win both of them. So he is going to be a mega force this year. And Neuville, likewise, he drove a solid year throughout and was always just behind the VWs, or was able to mix it with the likes of Mikkelsen and Latvala, and actually won one rally last season. So he is for sure again going to be a competitor for the WRC Championship. So the rivalry between them is going to be absolutely lit. But going through the last couple of teams, well, Adapter WRC along with Czech Rally Team with the M Sport outfit has two further drivers in that of Mads Osberg, who ran for M Sport in 2016, and alongside him is Martin Prokop. As for Toyota, they are returning to rally for the first time since their Formula One disaster. Well, I say disaster, they did get podiums, but they didn't quite make the break in Formula One. They were concentrating on Formula One, and then they quit F1, and now it's the first time that they've come back to the rally scene since that F1 journey ended. And they have got two pretty good drivers, Juho Heinian. He is back in WRC this year, and alongside him is ex-Volkswagen WRC driver Jari-Matti Latvala, an all-Finnish lineup at Toyota. So that is the full WRC lineup for 2017. Now I'm just going to have a bit of a discussion, a bit of a roundup, my kind of thoughts about WRC 2017 and who I think is gonna be people to watch and who perhaps won't be so hot. So, as I've already said, I think for the championship, it looks like it's going to be, certainly to start with, Neuville and Meek. I think those guys are going to be the two who are going to be the strongest and I think the favourites for 2017 title. I think Ogier is going to come back strong in the second half of the year, but with Neuville and Meek being able to hit the ground early, I think with them both having solid cars, and the Citroen looks very fast, looks very aggressive, looks very sexy, to be honest. And the Hyundai, as I said, it looks pretty stable, not too many changes, but that's usually a good thing. The M Sport car doesn't quite look as sharp as either of them. I could be completely wrong, and Ogier could dominate the year like he has the past 3 seasons, but I very much doubt that because he's got a new outfit, he's going to have to adapt, he's going to have to change, whereas Neuville and Meek are very acclimatized, especially Meek. He didn't do a full 2016 campaign because he was helping to develop the 2017 car. So Citroen has had the best test driver in 2016, who, as I say, is capable of winning rallies and possibly a Rally World Championship. So he's going to be very sharp, he's going to be very on it right from the get-go, and this is going to be very exciting. You know, the Rally de Monte Carlo is next weekend, you know, starting on Thursday. This is going to be very exciting. If we look a little bit further down, what are Toyota going to do? For me, this is going to be a very critical pinch point in the season. Latvala is going to be the kind of the head guy. Obviously, we saw Jari-Matti when he was hot and when he had a bit of an off rally. But they need Latvala to operate at a very high level for them to be making the progress throughout the year. A bit like, as I've suggested with Ogier, although I think he might be sharper than I perhaps think. I think he could potentially podium at like Sweden, Mexico, etc. Whereas Latvala, I imagine this for Toyota and Latvala to be a very much a development year, and for them to be getting themselves prepared for 2018. But this is going to be very exciting for Toyota, having such a fast rally driver, such an experienced man behind the wheel. This is a very unique opportunity for them to be able to capitalise on this going forward into the first few rallies. Looking at all the other drivers, Osberg and Prokop in the adapter with the Czech rally team, they're kind of going to be kind of off guys. Oh yeah, just a note on them. They won't be competing till Rally Mexico, so they will miss the first 2 rallies. So just to add to that, they are going to be kind of odd in terms of the championship, and it's going to take them a bit longer to hit the ground running. And with them being kind of a customer of M Sport, that don't expect Osberg to do as well as he did last year, even when he even though he didn't miss Rally Monte Carlo last year, he had the M Sport and was still very familiar with the M Sport. And it's going to take him a bit of time to switch from the M Sport to the adapter. As for the other guys, Heineken, Juno Heineken, he's back in WRC, so let's see what he can do. I'm not going to make any judgments until I see him firsthand. As I say, pretty new to the rallying scene, only seeing bits of rallying on and off, so we'll just have to see and judge for ourselves when we see him hit the rally stage in Monte Carlo. Obviously, Thursday night in Monte Carlo is always great to see who can win the first stage. This new 2017 World Rally Championship is going to be something to enjoy. I should be getting an article out hopefully on Monday, because going out tomorrow. So hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to the channel. That has been my 2017 WRC preview, and enjoy the season. Just to let you know, hopefully sometime next week I should be getting a Formula 1 2017 preview. Should be a nice long one with a special guest, hopefully, if they agree to it. I haven't actually asked them yet, so it could just be me, or it could be two of us going through the 2017 Formula 1 season. Sorry there hasn't been any videos the last couple of days. I've had a problem with my computer, so I had to steal my parents, well, not steal, but borrow my parents to record this video. So, as I say, hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you very much, and that's Nathan. I'm out. Cheers.